This is Katowice. You want your name on that trophy? Making history is about fine margins, my friend. 12 world-class teams. Glory for one, but nothing but bitterness for 11. Chances are, that confetti shower, it's not for you. And the price you accept for getting within reach is that you may see everything slip away. Sometimes not everything is in your control. You can be a fraction of a second too late. You have to accept that. You have to accept that this may not be your day. Accept that everything you've worked for can come crashing down. Or refuse to.
It's time for some tiebreakers. 3 teams have managed to secure themselves a spot in the playoffs, but now it's a question of where indeed do they get? Is it a quarterfinals or do they get that free pass, that bye to the semi-finals in the Spodek? 3 remain of the 6 we started with here in Group A, and to hopefully set the scene of how things are going to go, got myself YNK and Natu. Now we have understood it. It's time for some rules explanations. I've been scrolling it down. Would you like me to go first, Yanko, or you got this?
However you prefer, Alex.
Okay.
You're the boss.
Okay, so I'll start by stating it's going to be 10k MR3. We have each team playing each other once. That's how it's going to work. Of course, 3 teams, it makes sense. We have three games, and the map, I can imagine, is probably the biggest question mark for some people. I've had it clarified with me. Each team, the beauty of having a 3-way tie is each team vetoes 2 maps. You get 1, and every MR3 game is done on that particular map. Any questions?
No. Do you want me to explain the second part?
What's the second part?
So if we have another tie,
Oh, feel free. Yeah, go.
have
Same
another
thing.
tie, then every team picks 1 player, and it's pistols at dawn, Alex.
You monster. in reality,
We are going to stay in this arena forever.
yes. In reality, if we have 1 team who wins all of them, they will secure the spot in the semis, and the teams that do draw will play again in another MR3 with a new veto process.
And then they'll just going to continue practicing for the playoffs.
Yeah, and then we bring our sleeping bags, we tuck ourselves in, and we just hang out. We can have a slumber party with the guys over in Twitch. Awesome, let's do this.
Yes, good idea.
All right, with that said, let's start talking about the map, because the vetoes have been done. I don't know if we can display them. I do have it in my ears, but I'd love to know if we can see who banned what.
I don't think that's
I'll give it a
possible.
couple of
Yeah, I
seconds.
think we're going
No.
to.
Okay, well, the map is Train. I can tell you that much.
Thanks you for
I
setting,
don't like that.
setting the scene.
Yeah, Train is the map.
I wish it was another map.
Why is that?
Because like Astralis is the best team on that map. How did they allow them to play Train again?
That's a good question. I mean, I guess everyone is
FaZe just
relatively
got wrecked
How
by
did the
Astralis.
veto work though? Was it blinds where everyone knew what each other vetoed?
Don't ask these questions. The map is Train.
The map is Train, that too.
For Christ's sake. The map is Train. They all
Let's
have
just
to play.
get on with it. This is important. Some crunch time MR3s. We did just witness a brawling and grueling loss for Fnatic, but now Immortals have a chance to not only overcome adversity there, they could very well top the group, as could the likes of FaZe and Astralis. It all comes down to this. It's such a strong start from the Danes, and now they stand MR3s away from going bottom. It's crazy to see just how this has become, but either way, FaZe Immortals will be our first, Astralis FaZe will be our second, and Astralis Immortals to determine it all. Your casters are going to be guiding you through the whole thing, so we'll leave it there. FaZe Immortals will be our first, MR3, 10k, your Henry G, and Sailor Kist.
Thank you very much, Alex. The first time we've seen it, it has been in the rules for a while. A 3-way tiebreaker is required. It's not for who's going to make the playoffs, but who's going to make the semifinals and who's going to be seeded 2nd and 3rd, respectively, after which it's Train. Each team banned out 2. This is where we ended. Yanko makes a great point saying Astralis is perhaps the best Train team of the 3, but FaZe have had good success on it. Nico's quite comfortable on it. And Immortals are Brazilian, and we know SK is arguably the best team in the world on it when they're clicking. They, no doubt, have taken some of that from their book.
Immortals versus FaZe to kick things off, as the guy stated, MR3, 10k. And do we do a knife round here, Matt?
I think not, because you're starting 10k, there's no pistol rounds, you're both playing the same side. Right. I don't think it matters in terms of momentum in that sense. So I think it's just join in, select your side, and go. So it's Immortals that seemingly will start CT. FaZe on the T side. It's Immortals FaZe first, as they mentioned. Astralis FaZe, and then Astralis Immortals. If we arrive yet again in the conclusion of a 3-way tie, we do it all again, Henry.
Well, let's hope that happens. To see,
You sound enthusiastic. Listen, I think it's kind of cool.
I'm just gonna.
All
I'm gonna do, Matt. I'm gonna let you handle that part of it all. I'm just gonna analyze the Counter-Strike. You're gonna deliver all that sort of information. Okay.
That's fair.
You seem to have it all under control, so it's fine.
Well, we can definitely keep things under control. Teams are readying up. 9 seconds. We're going to be underway.
Well, here we go then. As you said, we have never seen this before, but FaZe look fired up as we get into the first round here. It will be $10,000. They'll be starting on the T side here, and Alu presumably will bring out that AWP. He's been so good on recently. We'll see whether he can open up the map here. Up against Immortals, though, Henny, he's been no slouch with that weapon either. They're asking, is it a knife round first? There is a bit.
There is no knife round. You start CT. So there you go. So no, it's not. So it doesn't really matter because of the fact that it's 10K. Now, the one thing I want to mention, different teams might have different mentalities in the fact that you get an extra day off. So you have tomorrow off and you'll have Friday off to play in the semifinal. Yeah. Is that good for preparation, or would you rather be playing matches constantly and be ready? Last year when Fnatic won it, who are now out of this tournament, if you're just joining us, got knocked out recently by Immortals after having a massive 13-3 lead. They came out of the quarterfinals. SK, who they beat in the finals, came out of the direct bye to the semis. That's what they're playing for. They want to get through to the semifinals, but in some ways, it, yes, seems like the right route. It can be discombobulating, in fact, that it's not necessarily the best for the teams to get practice. We're underway. It's going to be immediately into the gun rounds, immediately into the AWPs, one aside. And already the flames extinguished out toward the outer site with the windows broken out.
Steal by himself towards that inside area. Looks like an outside play will be coming in though. Carrigan, as usual, towards Ivy by himself. Looking to be a bit of a nuisance in that particular zone. But Henny, he's actually on the bomb train. So no one giving away too much at the moment. Alu and Rain potentially joining his teammate towards inside. That's going to be Kiyoshima. As they could actually execute toward that area. They still have 3 smokes remaining and actually be using those towards outside by the looks of things. The AWP looking with the first pick.
So passive from Immortals. All 3 of the players on the A site, Lucas, Henny, FNX, all on the bomb site. No one wants to get aggressive and overstep the mark and start off on the wrong foot in these overtimes. And Astralis and FaZe, we just watched Immortals on the mainstream. They also just played each other, hence why we're here, because Astralis beat FaZe, who were 4-0 before that. So they're warmed up as well. All 3 of these teams just came off of games. Smoke out left side, flames in front of Kerrigan. He flashes off, that hits bolts, but it's B contact play, and they're already in the site. Steal. He rotates around toward the CT lower entry, and he's got to sit and wait. FNX and Henny will be the first to arrive on the scene to give aid to him. Lucas has found Kerrigan, but that's off site, and now he rotates Nico. He's down Pop Dog. He's going to try and swing out, go through Z connector, and cut off the CTs before they can make a play for the retake. And he's going to be timed correctly because they've got no advancement. Lucas is still waiting inside of the mouth of Z connector. He's getting closer and closer. Rain fires the flash. That holds him in place longer. Q Nico. Down goes Bolts. They're shielded by the train for a temporary moment, and they look to save, but they're not going to get very far. He knows now they're gone towards CT. You're saving, it's 10K, you've got an AWP. That's why third round matters. Nico says no, it's going to be FaZe to start things off.
You're absolutely right there. Saving weapons is important in the 10K scenario. Lose 1 round, you're fine. You lose 2, you're getting down to pistols in that third one. So they wanted to save the AWP. Classic FaZe strategy, though. As I said, Carrigan by himself towards that Ivy position. He's getting ready to show presence. He throws a smoke at the end. He starts coming out. His teammates, full contact play towards the inner site. Steals there by himself as well. He gets overwhelmed. The rotating CTs are caught out by Nico as well. So a great start there. And Immortals even going down to a Famas here on the second round. This looks like another fast one. We have got a bit of aggression this time from Steel towards the lower ramp. He could find something here. He'll be getting a lot of sound cues at least, and maybe go for the backstab here.
More smokes down on Sandwich. Fast play. But Kiyoshima dropping, leaves the bomb on the deck, and it's going to be all the Brazilians thus far. Kerrigan finally gets one back. Alu, he finds Steel. But Kerrigan, with a steel box in front of him, finds the ground because Henny's got the shot on him with an AWP, dropping the bomb at E-Box, and it's Alu versus 3. A swift and graceful response from Immortals means no one will have to save in round 3. We start off 1-1. Henny secures it.
FaZe going a lot faster this time. You could see that play from Steel pays dividends. He had the Famas by himself towards the inner ramp and managing to get the perfect backstab as FaZe went for that fast outside play. The M4 shutting them down, and he chiming in with the AWP as well. And it's going to be 1-1 here, man. Final round of the first half of, I guess we're calling this overtime or tiebreaker? What are we calling this? Tiebreaker?
Of the tiebreak, yeah.
Okay.
The MR3s. Flash goes into A main. holds them stationary momentarily. Alu and Rain, they're going to go for a boost on top of the pallet, so in some ways, an escalated position, almost in the effect of a double boost. As he looks down toward the Ivy position, Bolt's not in position to be caught off by that. He's still playing well back toward the outback, the wraparound position from CT, but it's FNX that strikes first. Nico down. He had that problem CT side against Optic, where he was found multiple times early, but it's Alu to strike back. What a shot as FNX tries to wrap back around. He nails it up close, but sneaking through the smoke is not the best entry for Kerrigan because Bolt sits in wait, takes him, and it's Henny that's on top of the bomb train. AWP in hand, tagged up. Bolt gets one, down immediately after 2 versus 2. To take the first lead into the first half of what will be 6 overtime halves to see where we end up. It's Keo that tries to get aggressive, can't necessarily find the opening shot, and Henny's going to be sure to take down Kiyoshima. Immortals, after losing the first, find the other 2.
Yeah, well, FaZe focusing towards that outside side of the map after having a very successful inside play. Alu there with 2 fantastic shots. You thought that would be enough to win the round, but Bolts continuing the good form. We saw Mirage managing to find 2 frags and just about give the 2-1 in favor of Immortal. This second shot, the timing on this, so quick. Boom. Takes him down. But Immortals now in the driving seat. FaZe, they switch over to the CT side. It'll be Carrigan who's got the AWP for now. Presumably going to get the double orb set up out. Yep, there it is. Okay, so Alu will be joining him as well. The money does get affected. It hasn't quite updated on your screen yet, but Carrigan, he goes down to $2,800. That's why it's so important to maybe save weapons if you know you certainly can't win.
So double op is a risk, but FaZe know the situation. If they get down 3-1, they're going to be hurting for it anyway. As Immortals strike back after losing the first round. In our inaugural, I guess we can call that tie-break overtime situation, as we finally see it presented on the stage. Smokes go through toward Ivy. 3 players from Immortals in that position, waiting. If Henny, Lucas, and FNX. Rain and Kerrigan play close to Sandwich. Kerrigan's going to give up slightly on the Ivy position. He actually wants to switch it. So he takes his op to watch A main, instead brings Rain's rifle closer, given that they're putting so much utility there. Meanwhile, Kiyoshima and Alu will watch toward the B site.
3 players towards Ivy for now. Bolts and Steel holding up, and it's Alu and Kiyoshima will be on the rotate. It definitely will be an outside attack considering where the bomb is right now as well. Still potentially going to strike first. They Carrigan close range of his AWP. It's a precarious situation for him, but if he nails a shot, could pay off.
Waiting. A waiting game. Molotov will buy a bit more time, passes them off, but he looks and finds Steel in the open, who is watching that Molotov get thrown, hoping he would find the opening, and look at Kerrigan go. Turns back, and down at Ivy, he's got bomb in their possession, and Kerrigan finds his 3rd kill. Rain gets the other 2, and it's 2-2.
Carrigan used to be so good in that position. You remember back in Astralis, great in that main entrance area. This time with the AWP, didn't see him do that too much before, but very confident, manages to find 3 kills in total, and it ties things up. It will be 2-2 now. FaZe looking strong here as we go into round number 2. Henny back on the AWP. You can see his money starting to dwindle a little bit here as well. And Allrise lead here. Whoever takes this will take the lead, and match point, I guess we'll call it as well.
Yeah, well, it would be one of the 2 that whichever team is to win this scenario would need. Everyone goes 1-1. Hit the reset button. Lucas out toward Ivy, has FNX throwing a smoke down deep. That's going to put Kerrigan in the same position as last time. Now, does he transfer it? Does he swap again with Rain or Nico? He's close to the hitch as well. Instead, this time, I think he fancies his chances on the AWP. Needs to be careful. Nade goes through. Fractional damage down to 78. Smoke off. Molotov left side. Smoke right from Kerrigan's perspective. Nico knows that this is all happening, but they've yet to put that attention in. In fact, both rifles are still pushing toward the front side of the A position. So Kerrigan is going to have a large task. Henny already at Sandwich. If that smoke dissipates, Kerrigan, he might get found from far. Instead, Henny looks close. Rain immediately countered out. Missed shot Kerrigan, but he gets back toward Old Bomb. Bolts, meanwhile, gets Nico. So things level, but it's still a slight advantage for Immortals to take the first map point. FNX, he gets Alu, and Kerrigan can't line up a shot from Ivy position. Bomb is planted. Kiyoshima tries to get back in toward the site. Molotov in hand, and Kerrigan still trying to find a better angle. He's now the last alive. 1 versus 4, has to go for it. Or does he? Because they went for the double up early. Gets the shot on Henny, but he's not ready for hell. Pistols drawn. Bolts nails it. And now the money, it's decent on both sides going back the other direction.
It's fine. He might as well see if he can, what he can do. He knows he has enough money to buy into the next round. But there it is. Immortals get the first match point here. 3-2 in their favor on the T side of Train. As we move forward, it's going to be maybe a double up setup once again. I'll have a look once it reveals itself. It will be indeed Karrigan and Alu with Nico down to the UMP. We've discussed this many times before. He's fine using that weapon. No up on the T side, suggests something very fast coming in. And Bolts, he won't be messing around. Runs straight out the main entrance here, but Rain opened things up.
Bolts is still at sandwich. You're right, and he gets the line on Karrigan. So a very important kill from Rain, but he's gone. FNX has him, and Bolts has the opportunity to line up another shot, misses it. And it's Nico that prevails on the UMP from far. You know, FNX is in the sight, but great shot, Henny. 2 versus 2. This is back and forth. This is what a tiebreaker should be, as Alu, he hits FNX. Look at the pace, but yet look at the calculation and trades. Kiyoshima finds the better. 3-3. We level out after our first overtime. Now, do we do a double overtime, or do they move on and call this a draw? I think we've got to do a double overtime. So we do it all again before, if they go 1-1, we could do it all again.
Okay, you've lost me. Well, let's just keep going.
I lost everyone, but there has to be a winner from each individual set.
That does make sense.
So they've got to do another set of 6 rounds of MR3 overtime.
Well, you're right. This is how overtimes should be. They're always very exciting. Backs to the wall for both teams. Everything has been reset once again. Double up setup for Karrigan and Alu. Henny, he's back onto that weapon as well. Didn't have in the previous round, but for a very fast play. And this time focusing towards inside. Actually, no one towards Ivy whatsoever. We can see one player pushing out, and that's actually going to be Karrigan, who's got a lot of information with his AWP.
This is a sick position. I just want to point out as well, Nico looked as equally as confused as we were when we saw the scoreline.
Is that it?
Yeah, how does this work? Nice shot, Henny catches Rain. Now, how does Karrigan respond? Because he has to give up that position. It's great. It's information. But with a man down on the side of the site, he's got to retreat off, give up that position out toward the lane, and now the rotation can happen over toward B. Henny's able to walk out A main and back up the stairwell. Contact about to happen. Alu is there to support Kiyoshima. That is what Karrigan's information could have helped with, because it leaves 2 on the site. Good exchange. Kiyoshima and Alu definitely come out the victors, but it's only a 1-man advantage as they're still trying to pull back into the round. Molotov down, Alu. Not scoped in, scopes out at the wrong time, still manages to hit it, and Henny, the last alive, low HP on 2. But it's an 8 WP, and it's Nico to climb up first. 4-3, FaZe take the lead.
Love that from Karrigan. It's an audacious play to push out towards that Ivy position, especially by yourself at the AWP. If he goes down and allows Immortals to take control of that area, that's round over. But he manages to push all the way, gets vision towards T-Spawn, calls for his teammates to actually focus towards the inner bomb site. It works out very nicely indeed. And it's going to be a 1-0 in favor of FaZe. Round 2 comes in. FaZe now looking much more comfortable. This could be the fast play once again. The Molotovs come in. They will be committing as well. Nico, he's ready for them. The flashes are good. They take him down.
Lucas gets Rain. Immortals, their turn to respond. Alu tries to go down and catch off Steel, but he's waiting, and Henny's able to collect Karrigan. It's down to Kiyoshima. 1 versus 4. So no situation has occurred yet where a team has won 2 consecutive rounds to start the overtime. We did see, obviously, 2 in a row from Immortals to respond to the opening round from FaZe, but what I mean by that is no one has had to save yet in overtime, and that's going to be the same case here as we draw level. The last round of the first half of the second overtime of our first overtime set.
You're doing well. You keep up with it.
I'm doing it in a way that makes it sound as obscure as it is. However, it's quite simple. This is just the last round of this particular half.
Triple AWP setup now. Nico definitely very proficient with the AWP himself. Let's see if this works out for FaZe. It's been very fast rounds for Immortals, concentrating towards that outside area, but it certainly is at the last round of the first half of the second overtime as we enter the 1 minute 35 mark towards inside. We go all 5 players from Immortals towards this area. This is balls to the wall Counter-Strike, managing to actually go with these full executions. Here we go then. Molotovs, smokes, flashbangs will be flying in momentarily. Counter smoke comes in, but they're going to commit regardless.
Alu's the only op on the B site, so if they do go this direction, the other 2 may not serve the same effect, especially if it's a retake. Could be a problem.
I thought they'd commit then, but they still have 3 smokes. Trying to bleed out the CTs potentially, yeah.
And there goes the next wave of attack. But does it come with an arsenal this time? Or is it just a display, an ostentatious presentation toward the B site this time? It is going to be with Cavalry as Steel trades out on Kiyoshima. That'll open up default. Oh, but Alu's close. finds Henny over top. Bomb's not planted, missed shot. FNX is able to at least pull back and get the kill. Now he'll safely be able to plant the bomb. And it's the man advantage for Immortals. Steals forward. Double op retake.
Yep.
Having gone triple op, and that's going to go down to just one remaining. Kerrigan, do what you like, son. But I think Immortals are going to find the lead heading into the second half as they swap over. Or are they? Because that's a lovely shot from Kerrigan. Smoke goes down. It's early to do so. It may actually mask FNX on top of the bomb itself. And he's got the knife out. Oh, tap. Here's the swings come through, but Bolts is above. That would have been quite interesting if both of them knifed each other.
That would have been insane. Oh, Kerrigan, I thought he actually had a chance when he dropped the incendiary, but the triple up setup does not work out there for FaZe. Immortals straight towards the inside area. I thought they were going to execute straight away. They actually bet out all the utility and then committed, and not really much FaZe could do about it. Equal trades coming in. Alu came very close to denying the bomb, but he missed a crucial shot, which then FNX took him down. Bomb was then planted, and we have the advantage once again for Immortals, 5-4, as we enter the second half of second overtime here in the tiebreakers. Is that correct?
That's correct.
There we go.
I didn't listen to what you said, but I'm going to assume it was correct.
Gonna run with it. It's fine. Double up setup this time for the CTs. FNX going to be on that secondary off. An aggressive play towards inside. He takes some damage from the Molotov. Still's been baited in here. Could spray them all down. Finds Alu. Looking for the second, but Keo finds him. And it's going to be an equal trade for now. 4-4. And they could actually capitalize on this one. But a good Molotov thrown towards the lower ramp.
Nico, top of the railing, looks above the window to try and see if anyone's going to rotate in from Z Connector. No boost, so it's just an information peek. No one on the back of the train either. FNX will solo hold B from far on the high ground. With Lucas and Henny, twins, telepathic connection perhaps, playing together on the A-bomb train, and then Bolts inside of the smoke at Ivy will slowly join back into the fold. It appears to me at this point to be an A split. 2 out main. 2 out pop dog, right. But that means all 4 coming from the same front of the A site. And that means smokes could be effect. Rain walks up for information, and Henny gets a free kill. Lucas can control the peak. He's at the ladder, damage done. Keo's on 6, down he goes. Lucas finds the kill, low HP, but he can climb the ladder. Kerrigan now becomes the middleman in this as he sneaks forward. Where's the repeak? Z Connector's covered off, but FNX is scared around the corner. It gives Kerrigan yet another kill before Bolts finds the answer. And Nico's got this down to a 1-on-1. FNX on the op, Nico on the op.
Okay, 20 seconds remaining, but FNX, he takes the peak from Connector. He needed to hunt for some information there, and he picks it up.
Map point Immortals as well. FaZe need to win 2 to force this to a triple set.
Could happen.
This is like Federer and Nadal slugging it out. We're talking about it sets back and forth. This is break point Immortals to try and take this one.
Okay then, well, Immortals, one more round will do it. FaZe back to the default here. Nico looking to get a little bit aggressive potentially. He gets himself in towards that pop dog area, but Kenny, oh, this is a big play.
Oh,
this
no
is
way.
gonna be so sick.
No way. Oh, misses it though. If he had hit that, that could have been so pretty. Does have support, but not enough. Steel only gets 1, Rain finds 2, and forget the execution onto A. They've now got an opening onto the B sites until FNX arrives. And that could thwart all plans. Thankfully, bomb is not in the hands of Rain, who got caught out on the ramp, because if it flung forward in the site, I would have thrown the advantage back to Immortals, and right now, that would be enough to take a 1-0 point. You need 2 to win out this tiebreak situation.
Okay.
They almost patched each other, and if Kerrigan was another step forward, they would have completely ignored each other, but it works out for Lucas. Does bring it back to FNX to catch off Nico. It's all on Kiyoshima. 1 versus 2. 58 seconds, has bomb. That's his saving grace.
He can be very good in these scenarios. He's got the time to work with it, and just enough time, I think, to get towards the low ramp undetected. There it is. Good HE grenade as well. That could take down FNX. Okay, does 1 damage, but still, bomb going down. Has a Molotov to work with here. If he can get to lower ramp, still quite a good chance of a Kiyoshima.
FNX will climb above. Keo has Lucas.
Here we go.
Gets the information that he's on the lower ramp. Surprisingly for me, FNX jumps back down and goes to the bomb immediately because I would have thought he was going to hold for the high ground, but he's going to hold the defuse.
It's gonna work.
Keo's not on it. All the Molotovs there. I didn't see it flung, and now FNX has to get off it, take the fight. Kiyoshima, he's playing this the longest way possible, and FNX, aware of the fate, is going to try and climb back up and take the fight, but time is gone, and it's going to be 6-5. There is another one. He picked it up on the way by, and that means round secure no matter what. Oh, I did get back. No, maybe there wasn't.
I think there was 2. I think he got another one down.
Either way, he had the round 1 on time before that point anyway, so 6-5. He may not have known that FNX was going to try and face him as such, but this gives a chance for FaZe now to force another set of overtimes.
And look at the buy as well. It could very likely happen here. This is what happens on the CT side in overtime situations, the MR3 10K rule. 2 Desert Eagles, a UMP, a FAMAS, Henny on Glass Cannon, AWP. So aggressive, of course. It will be FNX. Oh, that's a interesting decision, considering he's only got that UMP as well. Trying to find some close range action, but just about gets away with his life there. There's a little bit of damage towards Alu. That's this is it now. Immortals can close things out here and now, but it's going to be very difficult to do so.
Bolts is going to watch at Ivy, but keep an eye on Rain. Because if he gets access to Pop Dog without being punished, and they have 2 at Ivy, the probability of splitting the A site is increased tenfold. And it demands the attention to be strained between multiple choke points from the CT side. FNX, thankfully, will go back in toward Pop Dog, and therefore make it much harder for Rain to get down below. May only be a UMP, but it would be a welcome kill, especially against that of an AK, because he could swap it quite quick. Keo, sales pitch. Knock on the door.
Yeah, just throwing that one smoke to try and keep those 2 CTs towards that area as well. And the thing is, the CTs have to take gambles at this point with the lesser weaponry. FNX so finds the first kill, can't get the double.
Worthy trade, because it's down with the UMP and onto 2 pistols and a FAMAS. Nice shot on Henny. We could be doing it all again, yet again. Kerrigan, he's found 2, but Steel stands true. He's inside of the site, but not for long. Kerrigan now with his 3rd. And Lucas on a Deagle is going to try and slip down Pop Dog. There's a gun in front of him. He's got it picked up. 19 HP. Bomb is planted. Goes fast enough to find Alu, but can't get the damage. And we welcome ourselves to a triple overtime in this, our first of the tiebreakers.
Oh, it came pretty close.
A triple overtime. I say that, a triple set, because we start in overtime. Let's not confuse anyone.
Exactly. If you are just joining us wondering what the hell's going on, no one's getting eliminated at this point. We're trying to work out who gets the bye to the semi-final and who comes 2nd and 3rd in the group. All of these teams finished 4-1, and now this is the first game of the 3 teams. Everyone's going to play each other once, a round-robin format in overtime only, on only train. There's no veto each time. Everyone's playing train, and then the first team to go 2-0, they go to the semi-final. Correct?
That is correct.
There we go.
So semi-final would go immediately to that team, but then the issue as well is the other 2 teams still have to settle the score because it's 2-3 crossover for the quarterfinal. There's 2 quarterfinals, obviously, without 8 teams. There's only 6, 4 of them play, and then the winners play the semi. We have to establish who's going to play who. It has to line up with tomorrow's bracket for Group B. Alu, AWP, wants to try and find the fast peak. Flash goes out instead, and he backs off, at least temporarily. 1:22. There's lots of time to work with. Kerrigan is getting rather impatient toward Ivy. Gap in the smoke. He might try and use that to his advantage. Here's the pop flash coming through and keeps his vision that if anyone were to peek it, specifically Bolts, he could find some damage in it. That's exactly what happens. As Bolts has to check into the cubby to see if he'd made his way in toward the site, and Kerrigan gets the opening, and not only that, he's gotten well inside of the site. Flash off to Lucas, forces him to change his angle, gives Kerrigan an opening, but Rain is there to trade back as FNX got his teammate down in the ends. But watch out, because Henny's now in a 1 versus 4. So FaZe, who force out the 3rd set, will find first round in it, and Immortals now need to return, or they find themselves in another save situation.
Very nice round there from FaZe to kick things off. Everything has been reset once again, and that is a difficult situation now for Immortals. After losing the first round of CT, you can see the money right now. It goes down to almost 0. And it means it's almost a must-win round, and you're going to be down to just pistols and UMPs going to number 3 here. So in terms of the buy, it's going to be Henny on the AWP. It's very rare to see these buy head armor. Why would you? But Alu, aggressive, of course, straight towards outside, waiting for that first shot to come in. Spots it, nails it, easy does it. Takes down Bolts, then gets a second as well. Beautiful stuff to take down Lucas.
Alu has been sick in the sandwich position all day today. So good as he hits another bunch of close-range shots. Henny will get Alu down back in return, but it's a man advantage for FaZe and a potential to go 3-0 for the first time of either team in these sets, because they will force out the money on Immortals. And right now you have to think Astralis. We talked about how each of these teams had just played and they're all warmed up. They're sitting by watching this. Now there's 2 schools of thoughts on that. One is, okay, these guys are playing train, we're not. They're getting a warm up, we aren't. or we're watching all the little habits that they're doing, and they're going to be ready to counter it.
Well, everyone's playing a little bit differently here. Of course, it's overtime. You want to be just throwing a spanner into the works, something unexpected, a spawn-based call, or just maybe a full-on execution to kick things off, or a fake of a tactic you usually do. But now it's down to Henny. He has to save this AWP. I did say, thank you for bringing up the scoreboard. It shows you the money is absolutely in the bin for Immortals. So if he doesn't save this AWP, FaZe, they're going to run away with that last round, and they know that as well. They can afford to lose players here, and it's going to be Carrigan coming around first. Does he check the corner? It doesn't matter. It's a no-scope to take him down, and it looks like he might save the AWP. I know I'm getting excited about this one kill, but him saving the AWP is actually a massive deal.
That is so close. Look at Alu again. 1, snap 2, boom, done. Quite sexy from Alu. Second time in that position we've seen him find fast frags. What a chance for FaZe to go up 3-0. Just that AWP remaining.
But that could be enough. On a map like Train, if he's aggressive like he was on Cash, maybe he can do something with this. It's Lucas, though. He's going towards a lower ramp. Oh my god, he somehow finds a kill. Takes down Alu. Looking for the second as well. Not giving in, but it's going to be Kiyoshima to take him down. Still comes in for the flank as well. They had to try and make something work here. But FaZe take the advantage. They do not need to commit now. Hold back.
Kerrigan's trying to sell them off toward A. Now that's fine, because there's no one inside of B as a result of it, but it gives them a gun. So now, Bolts has an AK to work with Henny's op. And FNX, he's going to try and have position for a flank. The op, positioned at the mouth of the Z connector, has no sight or vision. Does spot up an AK. He's lucky not to shoot his teammate as he came out of the scope position, but it's Bolts to take rain. It's actually the advantage. And FNX, he's still getting closer. He's at the corner. Nico's aware of it, but Henny's now taking down Kiyoshima. How have they pulled this back? Nico's on 10 HP. He's got a Molotov, but a nade will do it. FNX from the grave, and Immortals strike back to make it 8-7. We stay level, and we swap sides yet again.
Have you ever seen anything like it? 1 AWP, 4 CZ, aggressive towards lower ramp. These rounds have been so intense, it's insane. Well, it looked like a 3-0 for FaZe, but Immortals pull one back in number 3 there, and it brings it to 2-1. We swap over once again as we go into half number 2.
Half number 3. Half number 2 of overtime. No, set number 3
of
our tiebreak number 1.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
I would say start mixing up the G Fuel, because we're going to be burning the midnight oil. This is just the first of one set. This could happen over and over again on a map like Train.
Tennis is a perfect example, though. Like, it's just breaking the serve. One team to go to that 3-0, that's going to be it at that point. But let's see what happens as we go into the second half now. It's going to be double offset out for the CTs, a fast execution. By the looks of things, you can see the terrorists grouping up towards that dumpster. The smoke's in hand. Like I said, overtime, the rules really do guard the win at this point. Fast execution, certainly an option. Get that bomb down, get those clutch situations going, and let your star players shine. And let's see whether FNX can do anything with this position, going up towards red. But, just about gets that kill on Rain. Quickly returned by Nico.
Kerrigan, quick check. And Ladder gives the information he's looking for, because he spots Lucas. Makes no mistake as he steps wide in hell. And he's got another steal on top of the site after the plant. The double op working well, a third. What is this from Kerrigan? You said he's so good in sandwich, he shows us why. Bolts versus 4, and Bolts no more, because Kerrigan has them all, and the defuse will come through for FaZe.
That was absolutely ridiculous from Kerrigan. Rain, a rare smile from him as Kerrigan, the in-game leader, finds 4 kills as the secondary AWP of the team as well. He's actually been more impressive in Alu in this
specifically the CT side.
Yeah, this is the tiebreaker. That's the one I'm looking for. It's not part of my vocabulary usually, but tiebreaker. He's been really cool. And we actually have an auto sniper. Is that real life?
That's real life.
The T-side auto sniper. This is really rare. For people who don't watch this game that often, on the CD side, sure, it's very rare to see this weapon apart from Dust 2. I've not seen it on T-side Train. Okay. What's he got planned?
Yeah.
Is he got like a wall bang or something he's going to line up?
Oddly enough, given the situation where we are right now, I could see this just somehow working. Get in a post-plant position. Then you're talking my game. Molotov will go down, it bounces, covers off the mouth. Nico and Kerrigan will converge together to try and hold it off this time. It's not one-man tasked to it alone, hence why the flash goes in for Kerrigan. And that's the Lucas shot they were looking for. Steel Bolts, they fall as well. That auto sniper's still in the lane, but it's Kerrigan that shows up again, and FNX is found. It's Henny versus 5, and Alu's got him. That's the break points we were looking for, because FaZe Clan will take the first win out of our first sets. of the tiebreak. They now go against Astralis. Immortals sit on the sideline, and they'll have to play Astralis after they play FaZe. If FaZe go 2-0, well then we'll have to see what happens to the other two and if they go 1-1. But if they go 2-0, they'll get the semifinal. We're gonna take a 90-second break and join with our next game.